BeatStars.com.
Okay, students, we have studied about the valency bond theory, and now we are going to study application of Vesper theory and valence bond theory in hybridization. Okay, in hybridization is the most successful theory about the chemical bonding. Okay, so in hybridization, first of all, what is the need of hybridization? What happens if hybridization is not there? Okay, so let us see if no hybridization. First of all, we should understand what is hybridization. Okay, so hybridization is intermixing. Hybridization is just application of valency bond theory, but it explained in the better way than the valence bond theory. Okay, so first of all, hybridization, it is intermixing. It is intermixing. It is intermixing of two or more atomic orbital. Two or more atomic orbital. Okay, two or more atomic orbital of same atom. Both orbitals and both orbitals of same or different will be two or more orbital of same atom. Same atom to give same number of same number of same number of hybrid orbitals. Same number of hybrid orbitals having same shape, energy and size. Okay, all hybrid orbital generated will have the, what are the things same? They will have the same shape, same energy and same size. Okay, shape also same, energy also same, and size also same. And number of hybrid orbital will be equal to number of atomic orbital combined. Okay, so that is the criteria of the hybridization. Understood? Atomic orbital will combine and hybrid orbital will form. Suppose two atomic orbital combined. Okay, these atomic orbitals, two atomic orbitals of nearly same energy. That combining orbital will not have same energy. They will have nearly same energy. They will have nearly same energy. Okay, but they will give you two atomic orbital combined. Therefore, you will get two hybrid orbital. Okay, but they have same, what are the same things? They will have the same shape, same shape. Okay, same size and same energy. All the things will be same. Okay, what are the all the things same? Same shape, same size and same energy. Okay, but only number will be same. If two combined, two will form, but they will not have same shape, they may not have the same energy, they may not have the same size also. Okay, but after combining they will give you the same orbitals with the shape also, name also will be same. Okay, so let us take what happened if hybridization is not taking place. Before that, you note down these sentences, then we will go further. Okay, if hybridization is not present and if hybridization is present, what will be the difference? We are going to study now. Okay, let us take BeCl2 formation. Let us take example of BeCl2 formation. Okay, first condition what we will take, without hybridization. Okay, if they are undergoing, if that is formed without hybridization. Okay. So first condition we are taking, if BaCl2 is formed only according to the valency bond theory. Okay. According to valency bond theory, beryllium 4, so 1s2, 2s2. Okay. And fluorine 17, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. Okay. According to valency bond theory, only subshells, only orbitals which have unpaired electron can undergo overlapping. Okay. So is there any chance of overlapping here? Only this can undergo overlapping, because according to valence bond theory, orbitals having half-filled orbitals can only undergo overlapping. And here this can undergo overlapping? No. Why? Because these electrons are already paired up. Okay. So, but to increase the covalency, then 2p orbital will be used. Okay. So, what happens? This electron will go here and this will become as a 2s1. This is 2p1. This is called as a first excited state. What it is called as? This is called first excited state. Okay. 2s1 and 2p1. Now here it got only one orbital with unpaired. Here we got two orbital with unpaired. So this orbital will undergo overlap with this one. Same way another chlorine will also have another that will undergo overlap with the another p orbital. Okay. That means one bond will be formed by the overlap of the two p orbital of the beryllium, p orbital of the chlorine. But another formed is because of the p orbital of chlorine, s orbital of the beryllium. Okay. So both bond characteristics will be different, because just in the valency bond theory only, I have explained about the overlapping area. Overlapping area changes, then bond length also changes, bond energy also changes. Okay. So let us take, this is another chlorine and this is happened. Okay. That time the structure of beryllium chloride will be like this. Okay. One bond will be shorter, another bond will be longer. Okay. Why? Because one bond is because of the PP overlap. One bond is because of what? PP overlap. Okay. And another bond will be because of the S and P overlap. S and P overlap. Okay. These two is overlap is P sigma P. Okay. And these two overlap will be these two. Okay. This S and P. So this will result in S sigma P. So both bonds are of the different orbitals. Therefore, they will have the different overlapping area. Therefore, they will have different bond length. They will have different bond energies. So symmetry is lost. In this, what is the problem? Symmetry is lost. Okay, different bond length, bond energy, and overlapping area are different. Okay, no symmetry in bond length and bond energy even in structure. Okay, so this is why hybridization is required. Okay, note down this. The same explanation I will explain with hybridization. Okay, so we are going to study now BeCl2 formation with hybridization, where hybridization of central atom will takes place. If an atom forms two bonds, minimum how many bonds? Two bonds it should form. Then only there is a necessity of the hybridization, because in the previous example, without hybridization, there is no symmetry. Symmetry will be there when two things are there. Okay. So hybridization is not possible or not required in the diatomic, like HCl. No hybridization is required. Okay. H2, no hybridization required. N2, no hybridization required. But the third atom enters, then hybridization is required to maintain the symmetry. Purpose of hybridization, is it clear now? So when two bonds are formed, then three atoms are necessary. That means maintaining of the symmetry is necessary. That time hybridization is required. and only hybridization will be taking place of the central atom, not any other atom. Okay, so let us take the central atom in the beryllium. Okay, so beryllium atomic number is 4, 1s2, 2s2. Okay, this is what called as a ground state. Okay, now this is called as ground state. But in ground state, its valency, is how much? 0, because no unpaired electron. Valency is equal to number of unpaired electrons. Okay, so once no unpaired electrons are there, therefore valency will be 0. To improve the valency, to improve the bond formation capacity, it will enter into the first excited state. Okay, in the first excited state, it will be helium, inert gas. Okay, 2s1 and 2p1. One electron from the same energy level enters into the same energy level, but subshell is different. Okay, so before that, what happens? This orbital, intermixing of two orbital having nearly same energy, combined with each other to form hybrid orbital. Okay, sp is a hybrid orbital, s is atomic orbital, p is atomic orbital. Okay, number of sp orbital will be how many? 2. Number of sp orbital will be how many? 2. Number of hybrid orbital formed will be equal to number of atomic orbital combined. 2 atomic orbital combined, then we will get 2 sp orbital. Okay. Now this is how orbital diagram. Now we will draw it the diagram and resulted shape. So note down this BeCl2 formation with hybridization with the energy level diagram. Now with orbital shape diagram, we are going to study. Okay. So 2sp orbital, what will be the shape of sp orbital? What will be the atomic orbital shape, that I will explain now with the orbital diagram. Okay, this is only energy level diagram. So BeCl2 formation in terms of the orbital shape diagram. Okay. So this is about the beryllium. Understood? Now chlorine will be there. Chlorine atomic electronic configuration will be one. I will write directly neon. Then it will be 3s2, 3p5. Okay. Here only electron which is eligible for overlap according to valency bond theory is only one electron. Okay. So like that, how many chlorine we are going to take? 2 chlorine we are going to take, and both are p orbitals. 2 chlorine we are going to take, both will provide p orbitals, and beryllium will provide sp orbital. And how many sp orbital? 2 sp orbital. Why 2 sp orbital? Because 2 atomic orbitals combined with each other. Is that clear? Okay, now initially I will explain in detail. If you are not understanding, you can ask me. Otherwise, then first further example, only first example is if you are able to understand clearly, then we can go for the all hybridization fast. Okay. So that's why everything minutely I am explaining starting. Okay, it may be slow, but it will used in the increasing the speed for further examples. Okay. So BeCl2, now beryllium had 2s orbital. 2s orbital will be which shape? 2s orbital is of the spherical shape. Okay. It combined with 2p orbital. This is the 2p orbital. 2 atomic orbital combined with each other to form molecular hybrid orbital. Okay. Okay, this is the hybrid orbital. See, hybrid orbital have same size, okay, same energy, same shape. Understood? This small lobe represents S character, this big lobe represents P character, S character and P character. Okay, so this is also sp orbital, this is also sp orbital. They are identical with each other in all aspects. Okay, these two orbitals shape wise also same, size wise also same, energy also same, even name also same. Okay, this is atomic orbital, this is atomic orbital, This is hybrid orbital. This is hybrid orbital. Okay. Number of atomic orbital is equal to number of hybrid orbital. So here it ends with the valency bond theory. Now the s orbital have got one electron, s orbital got one electron, so they both will be given one electron. Now it comes with the valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay, so valency shell pair electron repulsion theory says that orbitals must be located in such a way that repulsion should be maximum, energy should be minimum. Okay, so these two orbitals can be oriented with minimum repulsion. This is one sp orbital. Okay, and another sp orbital I am drawing it. Listen carefully. This is another sp orbital. Okay, how many sp orbitals are there? Two sp orbitals are there. Okay, this is also sp and this is also sp. So both are having one electron. Is this clear? Now this is complete about the beryllium. Now we will approach chlorine. Okay, chlorine have which orbitals? P orbital. This is the p orbital of chlorine. That also got one electron with anti-parallel spin. After overlapping, they will be anti-parallel spin. Okay. Now this is also another chlorine. This is another chlorine. So this is beryllium, chlorine, beryllium and chlorine. So bond angle is how much? 180 degree. Okay. So this is the orbital. See, this is the center of the chlorine. This is the center of the sp orbital, center of sp orbital and center of chlorine. Okay. So the shape is linear shape. What it is called as? Linear shape. Okay. Linear. So BeCl2 hybridization sp and bond angle 180 degree, shape is linear. It contains two bond pair. It contains how many bond pair? Two bond pair. Okay. So I have explained in detail about the BeCl2. Now we will speed up with the sp2, sp3 likewise. Okay. Note down it carefully. Okay, after proper explanation of BeCl2, now you will be able to catch up the more examples. Now I will not explain further why hybridization is necessary. Okay, understood, hybridization is necessary to maintain the symmetry. All bond length, all bond angle must be same. Sometimes it may not be possible, even hybridization also, because valency shell electron pair repulsion says that when all electrons are bond pair and all atoms are identical, that time only it will be able to maintain symmetry. Is it understood? So now let us take another example of second example for the different hybridization, BCl3. What is the second example? Second example is of the BCl3. Okay. Now, first of all, what I should do? I should write the electronic configuration of central atom. Okay. So, boron atomic number is 5. Here it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Okay. Now its valency in the ground state is only 1. How much its valency? It is called as a ground state. What it is called as? Ground state, and its valency is 1 only, because only one unpaired electron. But how many chlorines are approaching? 3 chlorines are approaching. To improve its valency, it will enter into the first excited state. Which excited state? First excited state. Is this clear? So that time what happens? Electron will move from here to here. So for that, then 2s1 and 2p will be 2. 2s1 and 2p will be 2. So the hybridization is going to be one s orbital, 2p orbital. Okay. So always remember, these are not electron, number of orbitals. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. This is atomic orbital, atomic orbital, atomic orbital. 3 atomic orbitals are formed. Therefore, 3 sp2 orbital will be formed. How many sp2 orbitals? 3 sp2 orbitals will be formed. Okay. 3 atomic orbital combined, therefore it resulted in the 3 sp2 orbitals. Okay. So this is the s orbital, this is the p orbital, this is the p orbital. Okay. So once 3 orbital combine, then 3 hybrid orbital, 1 and all will have the same shape, same size. Okay. Now you can see, actually I am not able to draw that much exactly. This size will keep on decreases because s percentage in the previous one was 50%. Okay. So the size of the small lobe will be less in comparison to size of the small lobe in the previous example. Its name also sp2, its name also sp2, its name also sp2. Okay. This is 2s, this is 2py, let us take 2pz. This is atomic orbital, atomic orbital, atomic orbital. These three are hybrid orbital. These three are what? Hybrid orbital. Okay. Now this was having one electron, one electron, one electron. Now each one will have the one electron. Okay. So up to here, valency bond theory application is over. Now we will use the which application? We will use the application of which rule? After valency shell electron pair repulsion, valency shell electron pair repulsion theory we must be using. Okay, note down this, then we will have the final shape of the orbitals. Okay. Okay, now final orbital shape. There are 3 hybrid orbital. This is the first hybrid orbital of the boron. Okay, second hybrid orbital of the boron, third hybrid orbital of the boron. Okay, so first hybrid orbital, second hybrid orbital, and third hybrid orbital. These are the 3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, so this is the s percentage portion, this is the s percentage portion, this is the s percentage portion. Okay, and all of them have one electron with each. Understood? This is only about the boron. Now we should think about the chlorine. Chlorine comes with, see here, chlorine is 3s2 and 3p5. So S sub shall have 2 electron, P sub shall have 5 electron. Okay. So this p orbital, I am talking about this p orbital. Like that, how many chlorines are there? BCl3, 3 chlorines are there. Okay. This is the atomic orbital of the p. See, 2 lobes same size means it is atomic orbital. One lobe bigger, one lobe smaller. That means it is hybrid orbital. That is the way of identifying the hybrid and atomic orbital. Okay. So this is the chlorine and that electron. They will pair up with the anti-parallel spin. So one more chlorine and one more like this. Okay. One more chlorine will come with one more orbital like this. Is that clear? So this is boron, this is chlorine, this is chlorine. Now this is the maximum possible bond angle. Okay. This is the bond, this is the bond, this is the bond. Okay. So between the bonds there will be angle which is 120 degree. Okay. Now when I combine all of them, what I am getting? I am getting a one triangle. Okay. So shape is triangular. Shape is what? Triangular planar. Shape is triangular planar. This is the structure and hybridization of BCl3. BCl3 hybridization is sp2. Number of bond pairs are 3. Plane shape is triangular planar. Okay, note down. Now we have seen about the sp and sp2. Okay, now let us see about the hybridization sp3. sp3, 4 orbitals are required. For that I am taking example of CH4. Okay, formation of CH4. In this I should take the hybridization from the carbon. Okay, so carbon atomic CH4 is the example. Carbon I am writing 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Okay, in the ground state, valency of the carbon in the ground state is only 2. Okay, 2 valency. 2 valency in which state? Ground state. It is called as a ground state. But how many hydrogens are coming? 4 hydrogens are coming. Therefore, this electron will move from here to here. Then it will become 2s1 and 2p3. Hybridization is going to be now because of this transformation, this is called as a first excited state. Okay, in first excited state, valency changed directly from 2 to 4 valency. Okay, so our valency should meet the number of atoms required. Okay, so now hybridization is going to be 1 s orbital, 1, 3 p orbital, sp3 hybridization. Okay, hybridization is what? sp3 hybridization. Now, in the sp3 hybridization, all of them are unpaired. Therefore, all will be bond pair only and 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. Okay, so here this is the what it is. It is 2s. Okay, same way 2px, 2py and 2pz. Okay, actually this is vertically like this. Okay, so but I am drawing like this because I cannot draw in this direction. Is this understood? This is 2px, this is 2py and this is 2pz. Okay, 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. So all will combine with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also atomic orbital, atomic orbital, atomic orbital, atomic orbital. 4 atomic orbital combined. Therefore, it will result in 4 molecular orbital. This is the first molecular orbital, second molecular orbital, third molecular orbital, and fourth molecular orbital. Okay. So fourth molecular orbital, all the name will be sp3. Name of the all orbital will be sp3. Okay. So all were having one electron. Now, according to Hund's rule, we should give one electron each, and it is finished. Okay. So all sp3 orbital must be located. Understood? So how to locate? Question will be there. And what was the question? What was the answer? I will explain. Before that, you note down this. Okay. So chemical bonding appeared to be very easy while listening to the class. But if you are not attending the questions along with this, then it will be very difficult to answer. Okay. Now see, 4 hybrid orbitals we have. Okay. So this is the first hybrid orbital. This is the second hybrid orbital. This is the third hybrid orbital. This is the fourth hybrid orbital. Okay, so that means it should be square planar. What it should be? Square planar. Okay, the shape is going to be which shape? Square planar. And here hydrogen will be coming. This is all about the carbon. Okay, so carbon is combining with hydrogen. Carbon is combining with what? Hydrogen. Okay, so carbon is combining with hydrogen. So hydrogen got one electron. So what is the shape of the CH4? It will be square planar or not. But it is opposed because see there will be a great repulsion. Here only bond angle is only how much it is 90. Okay. So due to less bond angle, okay, bond angle is very less. So due to less bond angle, stability is less. Okay, stability less. Therefore, this shape is not possible. Okay, why it is not possible? If it is square planar, then bond angle is 90 degree. Therefore, stability is less. Then it changes from two-dimensional. Till now, what we are doing? We are doing the two-dimensional. Now, two-dimensional will change to the three-dimensional. In the three-dimensional, there is no restriction of 360 degree only. Okay. If you are in one plane, then there is a restriction that only 360 degrees permitted. And 360 divided by 4, you are getting per bond angle only 90 degree. That is insufficient to enable the stability. Therefore, 2D is not sufficient, then it will go for the 3D. Why CH4 is not square planar? Is that clear? Is that clear to all of you? Okay, then I will explain why it is how it is three-dimensional. Okay. So in the three-dimensional, the shape is three-dimensional. Therefore, it is not possible for clarity in the plane. Okay. Then what we will do? We will do the, see, this is the hybrid orbital. Okay. This is one hybrid orbital. This is the second hybrid orbital. This is the third hybrid orbital. This is the fourth hybrid orbital. Okay. So this is back side and this is the front side. Is it understood? They both are not in one plane. So this is a carbon hybrid orbital only. First one, second one, third one. It is not completely visible because it is behind. It is behind. Okay. And here it is fourth one. Is this understood? Now coming to the hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. Okay. So this is carbon and this is the bond, this is the bond, this is the bond and this is the bond. Okay. Now you can see this bond angle is less or more. Suppose this is the bond angle is A, okay, and this bond angle is B, okay. Now relation between A and B, A less than B, A greater than B, A equal to B, okay. Question is that the bond angle between these two is A, bond angle between these two is B, then the relation between A and B, okay, the relation between A and B. So that is the question. Okay. Here everybody will feel that because it is there in the book. Okay. That is the difference between learning from the video lecture, learning from the books. If you learn from the books, you will feel that A greater than B. Okay. Sometimes people may feel that already it is entrance examination, that much it will not be easy. So some people will feel that B greater than A. Actually, both are same. Because I told you it is a three-dimensional shape. What shape? Three-dimensional. All bonds are identical. All peripheral atoms are identical. All are bond pairs. Okay. According to the what Vesper theory, it is a regular shape. What it is? Regular geometry. Regular geometry will have all bond angles same, bond length same, and everything will be same. Okay. So how it is that I am going to explain it now. Okay. So this is the shape actually. Here it is the carbon. Understood? And here like this. So all bond angles will be same. This bond angle, this bond angle, and this bond angle, all bond angles are same. Okay. So this is what we are looking at. And this bond angle also same. Okay. This bond angle also same. This bond angle also same. All bond angles will be same. Is this clear? So if possible, I will try to make the 3D. Okay. So 3D diagram so that chemical bonding also like orbital shape we have in atomic structure, especially 3D diagrams. Okay. So this is the 3D shape. It is tetrahedral. Okay. So this bond angle will be 109 degree 28 minutes. Is this clear? This bond angle also 109 degree 28 minutes. This is also 109 degree 28 minutes. Every bond angle is identical. This is how it looks. Is this clear? Okay, all bond angles will be same. Is this clear? Okay. This is one of the question where you require three-dimensional view. Okay. So answer, correct answer is what? A is equal to B. Okay. This is the first question. So that's why learn with very basic things. Okay. So main problem is that chemical bonding, everybody feel that everybody know same. Everybody know that they know everything. Okay. So but they don't know 90% of the things. Okay. So here bond angle both are equal and it is equal to 109 degree 28 minutes. How much it is? 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay. So some students ask that, sir, in some book it is given 109.5 degrees, sir. You are saying 109.28 degrees, sir. So actually both are same. Then they will ask, sir, how it is, sir, if an, what do you call? Hmm. Round off also it should be 3, sir, but it is 5. Okay. Actually, 28 minutes is equal to 30 minutes. 30 minutes is equal to half degree. 60 minutes is equal to 1 degree. Here, half degree or not. Half degree, 30 minutes. So, this is approximate. This is accurate. 109 degree, 28 minutes. Okay. Approximately, if I want everything, then that will be 109.5. Total, it will be degree only. Is this understood? This is called as a tetrahedral angle. What it is called as tetrahedral angle. This is called as tetrahedral angle, and the shape is tetrahedral shape. Okay, tetrahedral shape. Is this clear? And bond angle I have told you, structure also I have told you, draw this. Understood? If you possible, try to draw it with color, different colors. Afterwards also okay, but it should be the best notes. Understood? Note down this, and I am going to ask you one more crazy question which everybody like this question. Most of the 90% of the students answered A greater than B. Okay, 5% answered A less than B, and only 5% student answered A is equal to B. Okay, so like that, one more question also there. So let me see, in that question you will think innovatively and answer correct. So before that, note down this. Next question is number of tetrahedral angles in CH4. Okay, option A 4, option B 3, option C 5, option D 6. Number of tetrahedral angles in CH4. Okay, so you can answer this. So answer to this question is how much? 6. Why? Because see, this is the three-dimensional shape. One, black and blue. Okay, sorry, red and blue, black and blue, green and blue. These are the three tetrahedral angles. Okay. Now I told you all bond angles will be equal. So this bond angle also, this bond angle also, this bond angle also. So at bottom 3 bond angles and vertically 3 bond angles. So total number of tetrahedral bond angles will be 6. Understood? So when this question is asked, most of the student answered 4 only. Okay. Some students skipped the bottom 3 bond angles, then answered 3 only. But answer is what? 6. How it is 6? Is this clear to you? Okay, that is about the sp3 hybridization found in the CH4. Okay, found in what? CH4. Now we will switch over to the higher hybridization. That is after CH4, then we will think about the PCl5. We will think about what? PCl5. Okay, and here hybridization must be of phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus atomic number is 15. Here it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. Is this clear? 3p3. Okay, now here it's valency in the ground state. Very, very important. You may neglect now, but when examination question comes, people are not able to answer. 3s2, 3p3. This is ground state. What it is? Ground state valency is how much? Valency is only 3 because 3 unpaired electrons are there. Is this clear? Now these are the 3 unpaired electrons. Okay. So, but here how many unpaired electrons are required? 5 unpaired electrons are required. And there is no space for it to accommodate. Then it will use the B subshell also. 3s, 3p and 3d. That facility is given for the 3p phosphorus. Okay. So this electron will go into the B subshell. Now it will be able to provide 5 unpaired electron required to bond formation with the 6,5-chlorine. Now it is called as first excited state. Okay, what it is called as first excited state, and here valence is how much? 5. With one excited state, normally valency increases by with one excited state. See, it is ground state. This is first excited state. Valency it was 3. Now valency it is how much? 5. So that means valency will improve by 2. Okay. It will improve by the 2. So hybridization will be what? sp3d. What is the hybridization? sp3d hybridization. Is that clear? Any doubt in this one? Okay, there is no doubt. Now here d orbital, s1 s orbital, 3 p orbital. How many? One d orbital will combine to form triangular bipyramidal. In short, it is called as a TBP. What it is called as? TBP, triangular bipyramidal. Okay. So note down this, then I will draw the diagram. Okay, in PCl5, what we are going to have? 3s electron is migrated from 3s to 3p, 3d. Okay, and all energy levels are same, therefore they will have the nearly same energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbitals are combining, therefore 5 sp3d hybrid orbital will be formed. Okay, so I will be drawing the structure with the 5 hybrid orbital. Shape will be triangular planar. Okay, so there is a problem with the triangular planar shape. What is that problem? That also I will explain. Okay, so in PCl5, see, 2 chlorine will be here. Okay, and 3 chlorine will be on the triangular plane, where it will be triangular plane. Okay, triangular plane. Is this clear? So this is the PCl5. Okay, now here bond angle is how much? 120. But here bond angle is how much? 90 degree. There are two bond angles here. How many bond angles? Two bond angles here. So already I told you, whenever there is no symmetry, there will be instability. So PCl5 is unstable in nature. PCl5 is unstable in nature. So this shape is called as a triangular planar. What it is called as? Triangular planar shape. Okay. So triangular planar bond angles are 2, 120, and this is called as 90 degree. Okay. So these bonds are called as axial bonds. What they are called as? Axial bond. Okay. And these bonds are called as equatorial bonds. Okay. Equatorial bonds. So there are two types of bonds. Okay. One is axial bond, another is equatorial bond. Another type is what? Equatorial bond. This is equatorial bond. Okay, equatorial bond. So how many equatorial bonds are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 equatorial bonds. How many axial bonds are there? 2 axial bonds. Okay, 2 axial bonds and 3 equatorial bonds. There is a difference between them. What is the difference? Why is the difference? That I will tell you. Before that, note down this diagram. Here you can find from this bond angle is very less. Okay, so to increase the repulsion, to decrease the repulsion, this bond angle will, bond length will increase. Here also same problem, 90 degree. Here also bond length will increase. Okay, so they have less bond angle. Okay, therefore they will have bond length. Is this understood? So their bond length of what it is called as equatorial. Okay, axial. Bond length of axial greater than bond length of equatorial. First note down this, bond length of axial greater than bond length of equatorial. These bonds will be smaller, these bonds will be longer. Reason is it understood? 90 degree, 90 degree. Okay. Now after this axial and equatorial, after this what we can come to know, once bond length is more, so bond energy will be less. So bond energy of axial less than the bond energy of equatorial. Bond energy of equatorial. Bond energy of equatorial. Okay. Why all this happened? This is regarding the bond angles. What is the reason? bond angles. So once bond angles are less, energy will be, repulsion will be maximum. To minimize the repulsion, they are moving apart. Okay, note down these reasons. Okay, next one is, after this we are going to start with the higher hybridization, SF6. What is the next one? SF6. Okay, here hybridization should be of sulfur. So sulfur, helium, neon. Neon, it will be 3s2 and 3p4. 3s2 and 3p4. Is that clear? 3s2 and 3p4. So according to the ground state, according to the ground state, valency is how much? Valency is only 2. Okay, but it requires valency of how much? 6. So for that, it needs to go second excited state. That's why previously only I have covered. It will require. So I will explain without excitation. Then you will come to know how many excitations are required and why it is required. Okay. So 3s2, 3p4, 3d. So this is still ground state only. What is this? This is still ground state only. Now after this, if electron moves from here to here, this is called first excited state. Okay. Then another electron moves from here to here. It is called as a second excited state. So then it will become as 3s1. Okay. Then it will become as 3p3. Then it will become as 3d2. Okay. So how it is, because of the second excited state, this is not becoming as a second excited state. As of now, we have studied only first excited state. Some places we have studied only ground state. This is the second excited state. In the second excited state, okay, this is the second excited state. Understood? Only this one, it is called as a first excited state. Okay. In the first excited state, valency will be only 4. In the first excited state, valency will be how much? Only 4. Okay. But in the second excited state, valency will improve up to the 6. Is that clear? Because in the further compounds, when we discuss, you will understand when we will be making second excited state, when we will stop only after first excited state, that we will be doing. Is this clear? So note down this. Then hybridization will be sp3d. sp3d2 hybridization. What is the hybridization? sp3d2. Okay. So in sp3d2, 4 will be on one plane and 2 will be above and below. That is called as a octahedron or square planar. Okay, note on this, then we will draw the diagram. Okay, next after SF6 we are going, this diagram I will show. Then we will study with one more hybridization. Okay, so let us see about the structure. Sulfur, here 4 will be in one plane. 4 will be in one plane. One will be above, one will be below. Okay, so SF6. What is this? SF6. Okay, so SF6 is having one orbital above, one orbital below. All these 4 orbitals F will be in one plane. Okay, and this will be above. This will be above like this will be below. Okay, all these fluorines are going to be on the same plane. Is this understood? Now the problems we faced in the PCl5 will not be here, because here also bond angle 90 degree. Here also bond angle 90 degree. Understood? So here 4 will be equatorial, 4 equatorial bonds, 2 will be axial bonds. Okay, but both are same. Equatorial and axial bond lengths are same, bond energies are same, because the reason behind that is bond angle is same. What is same? Bond angle is same. Hence, there will be no deviation in bond length, no deviation in bond energies, no deviation in any other format. Okay, or any other properties. Okay, so this shape is called as a square bipyramidal. What it is called as? Square, this is square. Bipyramid means from top one pyramid, bottom one pyramid. This is called as a pyramid. Okay. So square bipyramidal. Square bipyramidal. Okay. Square bipyramidal. It is also sometimes referred as octahedron. Okay. What it is called as octahedral. Okay. So people will get doubt. Octa means it should be 8. But here how many? 6. Why it is called octa? Anybody can explain? Okay, octa means 8. That is exactly correct. Okay. Octa means 8. Here 8 planes. See, this is one plane. One triangle plane is there. Okay. Same way there will be one triangle plane, this one. One triangle plane, one triangle plane. So there will be 1, 2, backside 3, 4. 4 will be on the top, 4 will be at the bottom. Okay, 4 will be at the bottom also. So 4 planes in the top, 4 planes at the bottom. Therefore, total 8 planes are there. What that planes? They are triangular planes like this. Okay. This is one triangle plane, second triangle plane, third triangle plane, fourth triangle plane. Okay. 4 triangular planes at the top, 4 triangle planes at the bottom. Therefore, it is called as a octahedron. Is this clear? Tetrahedron also same reason. Tetrahedron also same reason. So octa is not because of the 6, it is because of the planes, triangular planes. Okay. So octahedral structure is much more stable than the trigonal bipyramidal due to symmetry in, due to what? Symmetry in what? Bond angles, bond length, and bond energy. So any atom having, any molecule having trigonal bipyramidal will try to shift from the pentagonal bipyramidal to either tetrahedron or to the octahedron because of the symmetry. Okay. Now we are into the next part. What is the next part? IF7. Okay. So in IF7, what we have to write? We have to write iodine electronic configuration. Okay. Now you can identify excited state required. Is this clear? So iodine, it will be no. You need not to remember the atomic number. You are working only with the valency configuration. So don't worry about what? Atomic number. Okay. So fluorine will be 2s2 2p5. So chlorine will be 3s2 3p5. Bromine will be 4s2 4p5. So iodine will be what? 5s2 5p5. Even you can write Ig. Ig means in books also they will write like this only. Ig means inert gas. Okay. Here it is not some big portfolio. It is inert gas. Okay. So 5s2 5p5. Okay. Now I am telling you method to decide ground state or excited state. If excited state, which excited state? Okay. So here only I am drawing it. Is this clear? So stepwise I am improving the in-depth and analysis or in-depth explanation. Okay. So this is 5p5. Is this clear? Now its valency currently how much? Only 1. But how much it wanted to make? 7. So we will keep on exciting it. This is the ground state. This is the first excited state. In the first excited state, valency is. In the first excited state, valency is how much? 1, 2. This will also become 3. So 3 is there, but we want 7. So second excited state, 5. Third excited state, 7. Is this clear? So iodine in IF7 enters into dash excited state. Answer will be third excited state. Okay. So it is not necessary that always iodine will enter into third excited state only. That depends on the requirement. If less people are coming, then less will be the excited state. If nobody is coming, then excited state is not at all required. Okay. So this is the 5s2, 5p5 and 5d. Now after this 5s1, 2 electrons migrated 5p3, 3 electrons added, 5d3. Is this clear? Five p3 and 5d3. Okay. So hybridization is going to be 1 s orbital, 3 p orbital, 3 d orbital, sp3d3 hybridization. What is the hybridization? sp3d3 hybridization. Okay. sp3d3 hybridization. So first we have triangular bipyramidal. After that we have square bipyramidal. Now it should be triangular, square. After that, what it should be? Pentagonal bipyramidal. The shape is what? Pentagonal bipyramidal. The shape of the IF7 is pentagonal bipyramidal. I will draw that provided you note down this diagram. Okay, now I will draw the structure. I told you trick to remember. First triangle, then square. Obviously, it is going to be pentagonal bipyramidal. It is also called as distorted octahedron. Okay. So iodine, see 5 will be equatorial and 1 will be axial. So now after giving you the logical explanation to the previous, okay, after giving logical explanation to the previous, now you will be able to understand. Let us suppose bond length is A and here bond length is B. Understood? This bond length, iodine and this fluorine bond length is A and this bond length, okay? Bond length A and bond length B, okay? Option A greater than, option B less than, option C equal, option C can't say, okay? Bond length of A, B. You have to answer. So I will be opening the chat option now. You can answer. So in this one, everything is depending on the bond angle. Okay. Here bond angle is how much? 90 degree. Here bond angle total it is 360. So it is going to be how much? 72 degree. Okay. So bond angle is less, bond length will be more. Okay. God will give something less, something more. Okay. So, but very few people will get everything more. Understood? Very few people will get everything is less. But not in case of the molecules. Okay. Here God given them bond angle more. This. So bond length will be less. Is this clear? Here bond angle is less, so bond length will be more here. Is this understood? So this angle A is bond length A will be more than the bond length B. Is that clear with the reason? So option will be A option is correct. Why A option is this understood? Here it is just opposite to the triangular bipyramidal. In triangular bipyramidal, equatorial bonds are 120, axial bonds are 90. But here equatorial bonds are less and axial bonds are more. Hence, the reverse will be understood. Okay, reverse will be followed. Is that clear to all of you? So this is what the hybridization in the basic level. Level 1 where we have discussed the hybridization involving only bond pair. Now we are going to discuss two more hybridization levels. Okay, hybridization with lone pair, hybridization with pi bond, and after that, if you are understood and clearly, then we can enter into the final stage, fourth stage, with charge also, with charge. Okay, so we have understood only level 1 of the hybridization. Okay, level 1 is only bond pairs, only bond pair. Okay, level 2 is with bond pair and lone pair. Okay, then level 3 bond pair, lone pair, pi bonds. Okay, and level 4. Okay, level 4 is bond pair, lone pair, pi bond, and charges. And what charges? Is it understood? So that's why this level 1 was clearly taught with patience, with minute things also, so that you can reach up to level 4 also. I don't think there will be any topic, any explanation is left, so that if you are reached up to the fourth level, everything will be nicely covered. Is this understood? So in our next lecture, we will discuss with the lone pair, bond pair. If both are, then after that level 3, lone pair, bond pair with pi bond, then with charge also. Okay. See you in the next lecture. See you in the next lecture. Okay.